bass and the mids and the highs. And I like to do that because in dance music, right before you get to the drop, I want to create some more impact. So like, this is like a classic EDM technique, but you know, you just like, you filter out the low end as it goes into the drop. As you can see here. And then, so when the bass hits, when the drop comes, it's more impactful. And yeah, like over here, I have a bass pluck. And I sidechain using Shaper Box. Without it, it sounds like this. And when I sidechain it, so it's like, yeah. Do you guys are you guys familiar with Shaper Box? Like, raise your hand if you've ever used Shaper Box. Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I love this plugin. A lot of people use like Kickstart, but I like Shaper Box. But for the ones who don't know what Shaper Box is, it can be a sidechain tool. Well, that's what I use it for, but there's also various sorts of functions. There's stuff that you can manipulate time with, or delays, and just random filter, like really cool things. But for the sake of the session, I'll just talk about the volume. But yeah, so basically what it's doing is just taking out, this is just the volume for right now. We are at 1/4 of a bar. So every 1/4 of a bar, it syncs and reloops, and this means it's like no volume, and this is like max volume. So during this part of 1/4 of the bar, there's no sound, and so it's basically just shaping that. And some people do like to sidechain compress with the regular compressor, but I don't think that's as precise, because sometimes with that, it can get a little messy and you can't exactly visually see what you're cutting out. But when you use tools like this to sidechain compress, it's just like more precise, and it's more, you just get better control as opposed to having to visually use your ears and, sonically use your ears or read off of certain numbers. Like, this is just like a faster and cleaner way to make sure that the volume's getting ducked out at like specific parts of the song. Is there anything you want to talk?
Yeah, no, that was awesome. I think taking a step back, you're obviously very like musically trained. You went to the SF Conservatory of Music and to get trained there, and you're classically trained in piano since a very young age. And you have a lot of tools at your disposal. How many of you guys here also play an instrument? Raise your hand. Okay, that's quite a few of us. So I guess when you were creating this song, what do you feel like what helped you get started? What was your process there? Like, did you start with the piano? You have a lot of tools at your disposal. You have your voice as well. You're a vocalist, amazing vocalist. Here and also in general, like, what inspires you to get started with these songs?
Sometimes it's like, sometimes I'll hear another song, and like I have various processes. Sometimes I'll hear another song and I will just start like singing to that song. Like, I'll make my own version of that song, like, and I get inspired by another song. Like, maybe they have a piano outro, and I'm just like, oh, what if I sing a verse? And I kind of get inspired through that too sometimes. But a lot of times it's also just like sitting at the piano and starting with chords. I think with like my genre, this year I've been making more pop leaning towards stuff, but I do come from future bass and melodic dubstep, and that is more top line and songwriting heavy. So with that genre, the top line matters pretty much the most. But with other dance music genres like techno or house, where the vocal is more minimal and kind of just like more just like there to serve the production, the top line is not as, like, writing a specific top line is not the focus. So I always like to make sure I have a good top line first, and then I structure the production around it for the sake of the genre of like pop or future bass. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I know everyone has like their own processes, and I know every song can be different and look different process-wise. I heard this really cool like lead going on in your drop. Could we dive into it? It was like it's a very like gritty, moody track overall.
Maybe are you talking about this one?
It's like yeah.
Yeah. So during the entire drop, like I guess EDM is so sound design heavy. I'm not like a kind of producer that likes to go into serum and exactly sound design. I'll do some, but I'm not like one of those like dubstep producers who like Virtual Riot can do like some crazy stuff. For me, sound design is like my strong suit is melody, songwriting, and audio manipulation. So like what I like to do is after I've done some more dialing into like the specifics in the patch, I like to bounce it. So as you can see here, I have a thing called bass FX. And the way I created that was, here, let me show you this. It's a play.
It's a long chain.
So I love this plugin, Portal. I think there's like a booth there, output for it, right? Is it output?
Output,
yeah,
yes.
I love this plugin.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will just like put the effects at like 100. Or just like random whatever effects. Like I don't know what this is.
Shout out to Output.
But like sometimes it's like this is not actually, this is probably glitchy. Yeah, this is called glitch. I can't really hear. Okay. Yeah. But like it's like really crazy, right? And like what I will do is like I put it at 100, and then I will duplicate the track. So this is the version of it that's like really messed up. And then I will just bounce it. So I freeze everything. Yeah, and then I will just take random sections of it that I like or delete. I'm not gonna really spend time to do that, but I'll just pretend I like this section. And then I pretend I like this section. And then, yeah, I'll just like really play around. I'll like tune certain things up, like an octave, or even like reverse it. And that's like what I did. I just try to show you guys my process just now. But that's what I did over here. So I'm gonna delete that. But that's like what I did here. Like basically it's a bounced version of like crazy effects. I go inside, I chop exactly what I like, certain parts of it. Some of it's from like sections here or here. And yeah, I think like good dance music, when it comes to like sound design, it's always just about details. It's about like making sure like every part of the song is intentionally designed. So like just making sure like when I have this part, it's like, you know, I have space here too. But you were mentioning about the lead. Mm-hmm. I think it was this one. So the original is a splice sample, and it's just like this. And it's actually, I pitched down 2, but it's, yeah, and I pitched it down 2 semitones, and then I chopped it up. Yeah, and then that was like an octave pitch up. I think this is like a slide. Yeah. Yeah, so I just, this is like my personal way of sound designing, and it's like really fun for me. And I like to see things visually of how it's like being patterned out. And I think like what I like about this too is that once you commit to an effect that you want to bounce, you can't go back anymore. You know, you can't go back and change the wetness of the effects or whatever you did to create that audio file. And so you're kind of just stuck with it, and you kind of have to work with it. I mean, you can recreate it, but I feel like just that if there's certain things you don't like about it and you're forced to work with it, that also creates a different type of creativity, different workaround. That's what I like about the process.
Yeah, no, thanks for sharing. How many of you guys have messed around with audio in your production process before? Nice. Yeah, audio definitely gives like a different workflow. You commit to it, right? I want to give some time. I know you have another song that you want to share as well. I'm going to pause real quick and see if folks have any questions about this particular song. Because there's some questions. Okay. Yeah. Up at the front. 1 second, the mic.
Can you explain for this one, like what the inception was, like kind of how you, like what you built first, and then maybe second, third sort of thing?
I don't exactly remember how I probably started this, but I do remember the top line being last, so that made it like really hard, like for me to finish a song. Like the song actually took me a longer time. Like I said in the beginning, like when I have a top line, it's so much easier for me to finish a song. I think I started with a drop first. I think like for this specific song, I just thought of it as like, so hey, I went to Coachella this year and I saw Gustavo Stein during like Lady Gaga. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so sick. Like I've never got to see Gustavo Stein live, and like he's such a legend in dance music. And I don't want to like genre put him in genre, but like I say it's like mid-tempo-y. And I was like really inspired by that sound, and I kind of just like, I kind of want to have something that kind of has that energy that I experienced at that show, because that show to me was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like I teared up watching Lady Gaga perform, and it was so amazing. So I was inspired by that experience. And this year with my music, I've been exploring more pop sounds and also more like female rap and like female empowerment type themes. So I just wanted to create something that encapsulated that edgy energy, that kind of like spicy female rap, but also some pop and some EDM. So that's how I conceptualize the song, in the beginning at least, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. I see another hand over there.
Hi. So I have sort of a similar background to you, and I just wanted to ask you how you did the mindset shift from like writing for specific instruments to like where each element of a track, you're basically creating each sound on the track. Does that make sense?
Could you explain a little more?
Yeah, like if you're writing for like, let's say a band, like you have the bass and you have the guitar and the drums that make a very specific sound, right?
Right.
And then on this track, you're kind of creating each instrument in a way, like with the sound design that you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just wondering like how you approach that if you approach that differently, I guess, or if you approach it similarly. Does that make sense?
Are you saying like with a band, like a traditional rock band, like there are certain ways to write for it, and then with like EDM production, it's like different for you?
I guess I'm asking like if there was a mindset shift for you for like when you're doing so much to manipulate the sounds versus like other genres where you're not doing so much to manipulate the sounds and it's more about
Actually yes. I mean, when I first like did music, I come from a classical orchestration background, and when I first heard EDM, I went to a rave. I enjoyed it, but I was also like, oh, this music is so unintelligent. It's like literally one note being repeated. And it's like, I was like, what's so crazy about this? I was like, but I'm having fun though. And then like I tried to make it, and I realized it was like so hard, because like the difference between classical music and EDM is that with classical music, it's like, yes, like it's like really beautiful because you have like entire orchestra and it's very melodic, and all these melodies come together to work towards creating one sonic palette. But with EDM, it's like a whole different world of sounds that don't exist in classical music. Like it's like the EQing of a sound or the reverb of a sound, or there's so many tonal textures that don't exist in that. So that shift of like being good at melodies and classical music and trying to learn how to do sound design and EDM, it was like really hard at first, but it was just like, it was fun because it was hard, and like I still think I can like learn a lot more from it, but to me, like after like I guess like doing this for a good amount of time, I realized like I personally enjoy kind of being in the middle, like not going so much on like insane, crazy sound design, but also doing a bit of it and just knowing what my strengths and weaknesses are. And I think that that's really important, just to know like what your strengths and weaknesses are and what you actually feel inclined to learn. And because like when you're enjoying the music becomes better. So you should make the music that you enjoy to make. And if learning a different skill is that's what you enjoy, then yeah, you should do that.
Awesome. Thanks for the questions. That leads to a perfect segue into your next song, which is more of a not cinematic, it's classically inspired song. I'll let you kind of introduce that.
Yeah. So this is like something I just worked on. It's a cover. It's a cover of 2 songs, and I mashed it into one. I made a interpolation of Clair de Lune by Debussy, and I mashed it up with Lana Del Rey, Say Yes to Heaven. I haven't put it out. It's not super done yet. Well, it's pretty much done. I'm gonna get it mastered soon. But I thought it'd be a good different thing to show you guys if it resonates with some of the people who like more classical stuff here. Clair de Lune, where is it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably put this out because it's like a nice Christmassy type winter type vibe.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's like a blend between the 2 worlds that you were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Blends your strengths.
Do you guys have any more questions before this project loads? Oh.
Yeah, you showed that filter before the drop, and it kind of like was automatically like moving.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain how you do that in Ableton?
Yeah, it's called the automation lane. So you can draw in your automation. If you're on Ableton, you press A, you'll see the automation, and yeah, it's called an automation lane, and you can draw in how you want things to move as the song progresses. Yeah. Okay. This is my Clair de Lune mashup with Lana Del Rey, Say Yes to Heaven.
If you dance, I'll dance. And if you don't know, dance anyway. Give peace a chance. Let the fear you have fall away. I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you. Say yes to heaven. Say yes to me. Say yes to heaven. Say yes to me. Say yes to heaven. Say yes to
That was gorgeous. I can
Thank
definitely
you.
see how you leaned into your like musicality and the melodies there and like all the arps and things there. How did you get the idea to blend a classical song like Clair de Lune with a pop contemporary song?
I like recently started just playing a lot of classical piano again, and I just realized I haven't done a cover in a while. And I started my career doing a lot of covers. I did a lot of like video game covers. One of my covers that a lot of my fans liked back then was my cover of Dearly Beloved from Kingdom Hearts with Sweater Weather. And I was like, well, like I haven't done that in a while, like combining two songs. And I was like, wait, I think Clair de Lune could, if I were to do like, if anyone were to do a remix of Clair de Lune into EDM, I think future bass is the perfect genre for it. Like, I can't really imagine hearing it like techno or house. It might be really weird. I don't know. And I was like, but yeah, I also want something people can sing along to. So I was experimenting with different songs and what could fit. And yeah, the original chord progression of Lana Del Rey's Say Yes to Heaven is definitely not this. But like, yeah, I just had to experiment with different songs and see what chord progressions fit with that top line. So yeah, it's like a fun process.
That's awesome. You want to share any like specific production related techniques and tips around here?
Yeah.
Like maybe
Well-
the drop and how that came together, because that's definitely like something that you reimagined and kind of leaned into there.
Let's see. Well, there's this one part of the drop that I'm proud of, which is like this part where it goes like stuttery. Wait, oops. It's right here. So yeah, that like stuttering thing is like really popular in like techno or something, right? I think. I actually did this too in one of my other songs called Taking It Slow, where the second drop has a stutter type fake out drop. But it's pretty simple. In the drop stack with all the synths during the drop, I just put auto pan on it, and the rate is getting adjusted. This is my secret, but I share it with you guys. But yeah, and yeah, I like to just, again, with what I do with the other song, like group things in its own section. So everything here is melodically what's going on in the drop. And within this drop stack, I have the lead, which is the top layer. Like, I separate into low, mid, high. And all of them are actually sidechained differently. They're all not sidechained the same. In like future bass, sometimes people are just like sidechaining the entire thing the same way. And you can also do it not the same way each layer. But for this one, it's not the same each layer. So this is the top lead. It has piano, violin. It has like this synth layer that to me sounds like a theremin. It's not a theremin, but it just like adds a more electronic element to layer with the violin and piano. And then there's like the mid section. It's like the mid synths. There's saw in here. And there's strings. And then I have the bass layer. It's just like a sub and like a synthy type layer. And yeah, all of them together is my drop saws. Yeah.
Nice. There's a lot that goes into like that wall of sound when it comes to future
Yeah.
bass and all the layers. Could you show us a little bit about like your vocals and what that process and chain might be like?
Yeah. So my vocals, let me group all of it together first.
Do you produce into like a very minimal chain, or what do you prefer doing when you're recording?
For me, like when I'm recording, I like to hear myself dry. A lot of singers like to sometimes hear themselves wet. Like they like to hear like the tuning and the reverb already, because it helps them with like confidence. Like it makes them feel more confident when they're performing. But for me, I don't like it. I feel less confident too for some reason. I think it just depends on the person. But I like to hear myself dry so I can be more precise about like my control. But yeah, I have like a lead here. This is my lead.
If you dance, I'll dance. And if you don't know,
I separate the
dance
breaths
anyway.
into a separate
Give
track.
peace a chance.
So some people like will just leave it here and they will go inside individually and like tune all of them down. I just feel like that's so much work. Because like, what if you change your mind and you want them softer or like louder? I literally just cut it out and like drag into a different track. So yeah, this is my lead vocal,
If you dance, I'll
and
dance.
these are my breaths.
And if you don't know,
And yeah, some pop music, they just completely don't have breaths. But I feel like since this song is like Debussy, Claire de Lune, and Lana Del Rey, it's not like a super poppy thing. I feel like having some organic breath elements would be good, so I do leave my breaths in here. And then I have like my harmonies and doubles.
I got my eye on you.
So like there's one pan left, one pan right.
Say yes to heaven. Say yes to
And so
me.
for the stacking for the harmony, like completely no breaths. So for me, like
Yes to me.
if I'm gonna have breaths in, the only thing that's gonna have breaths is the lead vocal, not the harmonies.
Say yes to heaven. Say yes to me. Say yes to heaven.
Yeah.
Say yes to me.
So yeah, those are my harmonies. And then during the drop, when the vocals come in, this is like a separate stack because I didn't want it to clash with the drop so much. So I processed those differently. I think it's just more behind. It's like more EQ'd out. It's like got more reverb, so it's more in the back. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for sharing that. Oh, got an enthusiastic hand up there.
Sorry, I'm just so curious. So the question broadly is around like, remixing and using other people's music. So one, it sounds like you re-recorded your vocals, but I'm curious like how you got the piano elements from Debussy in there, to get them into like a track that's workable within Ableton, whether you just did it yourself or re-recorded your vocals. And then secondary is like, will you only be able to put this out on SoundCloud because I assume you didn't get Lana's permission, but maybe
Yeah.
you did. Like I'm curious how that all works.
So for the piano part, I replayed it, and you can put out. I can legally put this out on Spotify and Apple Music. If you look up on Spotify, Apple Music, all these distributors, there's so many covers of big songs. As long as you recreate every element, you can legally put it out. You own the master, but you wouldn't own the publishing. So those are two separate things. Publishing is like the rights of like the writing and everything, and master is the rights to the recording. I wouldn't be able to put this out if I actually used Lana's voice. But I think with classical music like Debussy, there's actually not really strict copyright laws on that because they're dead and they've never given permission. So yeah, there's so many covers on distributed platforms. And yeah.
Cool.
5 minutes.
We have 5 minutes left.
Hey, thank you for this demo. I just have a question. So I just want to first say I totally understand sidechaining, so I don't need to be explained what sidechaining is. But you said something really interesting. You said
Sorry, could you speak up a little bit?
You said your drop stack, you divided it into low, mid, and high, and then sidechained each one differently. So I totally understand sidechaining, but I'm curious, what exactly was sidechained to what in that stack?
Everything is sidechained to the kick. but they're all different volumes. Like some of it, like the bass layer, is sidechained completely down, like completely sidechained to the kick. And with layers where I wanted it to stand out more, it's like the focus, like the lead, it's not fully sidechained. It's just like dipping a little bit. So it's able to live in the mix and you can hear it more.
Awesome, thanks so much. One more quick question. You seem to be using just the stock Ableton plugins. Are you just totally Ableton plugins and leave everything to the mixer when you get it mixed?
I'm using, I would say, well, in the vocal chain, I'm using Neutron, this EO Assist de-esser, Fresh Air Soothe. The only Ableton stock plugins I'm using is Delay and the EQ. You know, a lot of people use like a fancy EQ. I probably should get on that, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. But yeah, I mean, I use a mix of both third-party plugins and stock Ableton. But yeah, Ableton's been releasing some fire plugins recently. Like I really like the Roar plugin. I use that a lot. But let's see. Yeah, I would say that, yeah, I like to use like Portal, Valhalla Vintage Verb, and Neutron and Shaperbox a lot when it comes to the drops, yeah.
Cool. We have time for one, maybe two questions.
Oh my God. Hi, that's my old school classmate.
Hey, so I'm wondering what you think of Neutron. I use it specifically for like almost all of my compression. How do you feel about it coloring the sound versus traditional algorithmic plugins?
Coloring the sound?
Yeah, like I find that traditional plugins change the sound in a way that like hardware changes the sound, but I find that Neutron is very clear and crisp. I was wondering if you noticed anything about that.
I don't.
Okay.
I just like put it on, and I'm not very like specific exactly about certain things. I just like tweak things, and if I think it sounds good, and I don't really touch it or like overthink it too much. I think at the end of the day, like yeah, using your ears and just going with the vibe is probably the best approach.
If it sounds good, it is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We have time for one more burning question.
I had a question about when you're planning out like the harmonies and stuff, do you figure it out in like notations before singing it, or like what was your workflow for planning out the different instruments and like, you know, the notes that are playing?
Yeah, I definitely plan it out first. I counterpoint it. So counterpoint in classical music is like the interaction between two voices and how they work together. And I like to just play it out on piano first, doing different melodies. And I find that like some people do harmonies in thirds exactly, but like the melody won't. Like I like to, if I can, I like to make each individual melody sound like it could be a melody on its own. And I think when you're able to make a harmony like that, that's when like the harmony sounds really good. Like as if you don't really know which one is the main focus. Yeah.
So you play it out on piano first?
What?
Yeah, you plan it out on like piano first?
Yeah, on
Okay.
piano first, yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. So that is time for this session. Let's give Jana a warm applause.
Thank you.
Real quick, what's coming up for Jana in 2026 and beyond that we can look out for?
Probably this song.
Amazing.
But yeah, I'm just like exploring a lot of like classical piano recently, so hopefully maybe diving into that. I don't know. I kind of just don't really. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like do whatever.
Just vibe. Yeah. There you go. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right, everybody, that was amazing. I don't know about you, but I'm incredibly inspired. Thank you so much, Jenna and Julia, for moderating. They were dropping gems on gems, gaming us up so much. So we have about a 10-minute break before our next session. You do not want to miss this. So go get some coffee, go get whatever you need, and then come back here in 10 minutes. MPE and the Future of Keyboard Performance with Sam Gutman is next. I'll see you all over there.